If you are looking to find your life purpose, then this video is for you, because we are going to take this grand and often scary idea of living your purpose and break it down into some clear and simple bite-sized pieces so you understand what it is, and then give you the exact simple steps on what to do next to find your life purpose and to start to truly live it. Hey guys, this is Tom. Welcome back to my channel where I make videos that help you empower your higher self and manifest your dream life. If you'd like to win 60 minutes of one-on-one coaching with me, comment below. It is done. Winners are announced every week. What comes to your mind when you hear the phrase life purpose? Does it overwhelm you? Do you feel a fleeting sense of fear? Do you associate it with a big, grand mission, a hero's journey, a meaningful impact on your friends, family, society, even the world at large? Is it an external achievement for you, or is it a sense of inner peace and fulfillment? Well, in a sense, it's all of those things. But when we hear the word life purpose, we often think it's to do with life outside of us, and purpose seems to connote a sense of achievement, something tangible that we can say, I accomplished this. And that can make us look all around us, look outside of us, hoping that we find it somewhere outside. And I've been there. That's exactly what happened to me for many years, before I started to truly understand what life purpose meant. So with that in mind, let's look at how I define life purpose. So we have this definition. Life purpose: to live in harmony with the essence of one's soul. That's what it boils down to in its absolute core essence. Now, if you don't like the word soul, think of that as individual personality. So the sum total of your unique traits, strengths, and gifts as a person. That's what we mean by this. So to live in harmony with your unique true self, who you authentically are. As you can see, when you were born as a unique person. You have early experiences that shape you, and you have a unique personality type. You have a unique soul. And as you travel along life towards death, which is unfortunately the end for all of us, or is it? We can't say for sure. But the question is, not what am I achieving? Not am I living my purpose via a specific thing necessarily, but am I following the theme that I am being asked to align to, that is already who I authentically am? It's a theme. It can be a career, it can be a big achievement, but it can also be a present moment by present moment thing in the smallest of situations. It's how you are living your life in each moment. Are you in or out of alignment with your soul? And that is what a life purpose is. Now that we understand that, you can start to see that it's not necessarily about looking outside, it's about self-introspection and asking, well, who am I? And when you know who you are, you can really find your life purpose in 30 to 60 minutes. You simply need a pen, a piece of paper, and the right techniques and questions to ask, which I will give you in a second. But the search becomes simple, and it's something that you don't doubt, or something that you don't need to put into a specific, tangible action plan just yet. You just need to uncover who you already are. It's right under your nose. Anyone can do this. If you're a human being, you have a purpose, and you can uncover it. So it's very comforting to know that. Now, when we traditionally think about life purpose, we might think about someone like Mahatma Gandhi. We look at his big movement and his big impact on the world. And you may agree with what he did or not, but the point is he lived in integrity and he achieved something big. Now, if we look at that, we can see that within the layers of life purpose, there are 3 layers. So the achievement layer is actually the execution and traction. This is where you take the theme and you make it about something that achieves something tangible. This is where we always look first up. We look for something tangible to execute. But that's actually the outermost layer of life purpose. But we go into the second innermost layer of life purpose, and if we look at Gandhi again, it might be his law practice or his schooling years where he experimented with veganism. And that's the trial and error phase. This is where a lot of us also get stuck. We don't find the essence, we just start trying a bunch of things, not sure if they're accurate or not. Some of them stick a bit longer than others, some of them don't, and we fall in and out of alignment just trying various things. We may think it's playing the piano, even though we don't really know if that's at all relevant to our soul's calling, our theme in life. Then we try acting, then we try bodybuilding or being an entrepreneur. And that's what I actually did. I started trying all these things that I thought could be my life purpose because society defined them as high value. Again, failing to realize that it's a theme and not necessarily a specific thing, although that execution, that trial and error phase is clearly a part of this process. But now we come to the innermost layer of life purpose. And this is something that you can find quite easily right now. And this is the most powerful key of what a life purpose is. And that is the essence. The essence of who you are can be broken down into a single sentence. And the single sentence is formed of 2 key ingredients. And I have to pay credit to Gay Hendricks, who wrote the book The Big Leap, who comes up with the idea of a zone of genius. That's ingredient number 1. Your zone of genius is your unique traits, strengths, and interests as a human being. Now, there are 4 key questions that you ask yourself in his book, and that leads you to what your zone of genius is. Now, I will link those 4 questions below. So firstly, you ask yourself those 4 questions and you find your zone of genius. This is where you're naturally passionate about, you're naturally good at it, and you're naturally drawn to behaving in this zone of genius. And secondly, your core motivation. This can also be known as your why. So when you have this zone of genius, whatever it is, why is that important to you? Dean Graziosi, who says you should ask yourself the question, why do I want this 7 times? To find the 7 layers of why you want something, and that is your core motivation for anything. So in this case, you would ask yourself, why 7 times is it important for me to live in my zone of genius? Okay, so with that in mind, let's explore a simple example of what this looks like. Using a person that I've talked about before on my channel, but I think he's a really good demonstration of someone who has lived a congruent life with their purpose. And that is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So people would immediately assume, oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger, his life purpose was bodybuilding, acting, and being a politician. But no, that is merely the outermost layer. Many people don't know that Arnold Schwarzenegger, before he was a successful bodybuilder, an actor, and politician, actually tried a number of other sports when he was still living in Austria. And so he had a trial and error phase where he thought he was interested in soccer at one point. And he even comments in his autobiography that he tried soccer, but it was too much of a team sport. He preferred the sense of individualism that bodybuilding offered. But nonetheless, he tried out something and he learnt, and it brought him closer to the execution of a specific life purpose, being bodybuilding. But again, none of this really gets at to what Arnold Schwarzenegger's life purpose could truly be. So what is his essence, the most important bit? Now, obviously, this is my own speculation, so I can't speak on his behalf, but it might be something along the lines of to live with boldness, discipline, and courage. That would be his zone of genius, to live with boldness, discipline, and courage. To motivate and inspire people to pursue their full potential. That would be his core motivation. So those two elements, the zone of genius and the core motivation, form Arnold Schwarzenegger's essence as the person, the soul he is. And you can see that when we take that essence, it can be applied to anything. There's numerous ways he could be bold and disciplined and courageous and inspire and motivate people. But we can see that he can understand that first and then start making more educated trial and error guesses and estimates on how we'd like to apply this more tangibly. Start building action plans and trying certain things. And then we can see that bodybuilding, acting, and politician, especially if we take bodybuilding for example, there's plenty of discipline and boldness and courage involved in training and performing on stage and having the mental strength and boldness as a world-class athlete. And he gets to inspire and motivate people, especially those who are interested in the sport, his fans, and those looking to build muscle and more healthy lifestyles. So that's a perfect pathway for him to execute and gain traction in the real world and to live in harmony with his life purpose. But the key point as well is that it doesn't just stop when he exits the gym. He can still motivate and inspire people and live with courage in common conversations. Say someone says something he doesn't believe in and he feels like he has to stand up for himself. That would be again congruent with his life purpose. So again, when we look back at this overall trajectory, we can see that it's split up in lots of events. Some of these are big achievements, like becoming the best bodybuilder in the world for Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or it may just be a conversation where he stands up. But they all fit around the core theme. And because Arnold Schwarzenegger is such a perfect example of someone who lived in harmony with their life purpose, you can see that even for him, he selected bodybuilding, rose to the top of that career, accomplished something in harmony with his essence, and then left that whole career and formed a new one in acting. Did the same thing, and then went on to becoming a politician. So he jumped across 3 separate careers, all still fitting his core theme. So you can actually reach the end of your life purpose and then begin something new and fresh again and again. And also all the present moments in between, it's still relevant. The core theme of a life purpose is still always at play in who you are in a given present moment. I was coaching one of my clients the other day, and she was torn between finding her dream relationship and finding her purpose. And I asked her, how do you know they're not one and the same thing? And that really spoke to her because she realized, if I explore my essence, it may be to give and share love with other people. That may be her zone of genius. And her core motivation would be because I believe love is the meaning of life. Well, she was making a disparity between following her purpose and being in a loving relationship and being an amazing partner for someone. But they're actually one and the same things when you understand who you are at the core. And so I'll link those questions to find your zone of genius below. And your core motivation is, once you find that zone of genius, you ask yourself, why do I want this 7 times until you hit the rock bottom? And that is the essence of your life purpose. Of course, then you've got to start doing the trial and error and then finding something you can execute over the long term. Always remembering to live in harmony with whatever you find in your essence as much as you can on a day-to-day basis. That sense of integrity, that sense of harmony is what living your life purpose truly is. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like this video, please subscribe to our channel, comment below if you'd like to win that session, and check out my website where you can have one-on-one coaching with me to manifest your dream reality. Thank you.